Yo people, hope you're all doing well and welcome to a new video. So in this video, we'll just be focusing on some preparations that I've been making for the upcoming patch 6.2, which as we know will have a ton of content. The patch will be released in late August and will be including a new raid tier which links into the new craftable combat gear, new glamour pieces with an increased glamour dresser, and new tomestones, which means new tome materials, and a few extra things that we can take advantage of by preparing early. So I've been prepping over the last couple of weeks and I'll just be showing you some things that you can do to be ready for patch day. So one of the things that I've been doing to prep is just stocking up on some of the popular materia. The new gear being released means that people will be pentamelding again. So look at some of the popular 9 and 10 materials that are cheap right now and pick up what you can. I predict that the 10s will probably go for a minimum of 25k each on release day. I mean, I could be wrong, but if we go by what we've seen in the past, then this is actually lower than what the equivalents have gone for. I would also pick up some of the crafting material, as returning players, especially crafters, will be looking at crafting up to BIS before 6.2 releases. So again, people will probably be pentamelding their crafting gear closer to patch release. These will probably increase in price slightly before 6.2, also going into 6.2. With the release of 6.2, we'll be seeing a new master recipe book. Obviously, we can't buy the recipe book now, but you can prepare by making all the hand-in items and putting them in your retainer ready to hand in on the release day. So recipe books cost around 1,200 each, and if you're an omnicrafter, then you will need one book for each job, making that 9,600 scripts in total. The recipe that I'd probably focus on stocking up on will be the rarefied draughts, as these should be the cheapest in terms of material cost. But if you don't have alchemist level, then just look at whichever recipe will be cheapest for you and stack up on those. In regards to purple scripts, it will also be a good idea to stock up on the mats needed for purple script handling recipes. I've been stocking up on the materials for the cooking recipe, but as for white scripts, just focus on whichever is cheapest for whatever jobs you have available. A good thing to note here is that I think the materials will go up in price when 6.2 releases as well. The reason why is because people are likely to be farming these purple scripts a lot in order to get the immutable solution, so you could just stock up on a lot of the materials needed and just flip them on release of 6.2. And that leads me on to my next point. So currently you can spend purple scripts on immutable solutions, which are going for around 4 to 4.5k each. In 6.2 we will see grade 7 alkahest being introduced, which if we look at the 5.2 equivalent will be needed to craft the new combat gear being released in 6.2. So these are something that you'd want to have a lot of. I've been farming a lot of purple scripts recently and have just been stockpiling these solutions to sell and also to use myself in the future. Something to be cautious of if you're going to buy these instead of actually trading in purple scripts for them is that there are quite a lot of these on the market in general and they're not super hard to get. So if you do plan on buying them, then I'll just bear in mind that the prices that we may see them increase to will probably be around 7k maybe, just because there are so many in circulation as I mentioned. So yeah, if you're not planning to actually use them yourself and you're just planning to flip them, then just keep that in mind. So another thing that you'd want to focus on would be to cap out on your tomestones of astronomy and aphorism before release of 6.2. New tomestones will be released, and so astronomy will become the current aphorism, and new materials required for the new combat gear will cost astronomy tomes. So being capped for this will basically just give you a bit of a head start over everyone else. You'll also be able to convert aphorism into some astronomy tomes if you're capped on these as well. So even if you're not planning to use these yourself, you can just make sure you're capped to buy the materials and sell them. And that brings me on to the Aethersands. So Aethersands are another material that I'd be stocking up on as soon as possible. Looking back at 5.2, the equivalent Aethersands that will be put to use in this patch should be the Moonlight Aethersands, the Endstone Aethersands, and the Endwood Aethersands. Just keep a bunch of these if you're planning to craft, or you can just sell them in 6.2. So next, let's look at the crafting foods and the crafting potions. So crafting food for now I think will be fine with the Sciates. However, I have been stocking up on some of the calamaris just in case it's required for the new crafts. I would personally focus on stocking up on both of these, as you can make a lot of gil with the Sciate leaf quest anyway, so you can never have too many of those. The prices for the mats for both of these should increase in 6.2, so I would also stock up on those if you're planning to sell. In regards to the potions, I just make a bunch of the craftsman's draw, as these are more than likely going to be required for the CP boosts and should go up in price in 6.2. They're fairly easy to craft based on the materials you'll need, so you could just set some time aside to gather them. And lastly, so with the release of 6.2, we are going to be seeing some new glam and also, most importantly, an increase in our glamour dresser. This means that more people will be putting stuff in their glamour dresser, meaning more people will be dyeing stuff. Personally, I've been buying quite a few of the expensive popular dyes, for example the general white and the general black dyes, and also the pastel pink dyes, and I'll be selling them again after patch release day. These are in general hard to get anyway, and I do suspect that people will be buying a lot after the glam dresser increases. So yeah, just have a look at the market and see if there are any cheap ones that you can pick up currently. I think the price has increased since I started stockpiling mines a few weeks ago, but I'm pretty sure that you can still find some good deals. So yeah, that's pretty much all the things that I've been doing to prep for 6.2. It should be a big patch with a lot of opportunity to make some good gills. So I hope that this video has given you some insight into just some ways that you can also be prepared for the release. And on that note, please like and subscribe if the video helped you in any way, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.